Good evening, class. For today's lesson, we are going to have a look at DC Universe Classics Wave 11, figure number 6, John Stewart, part of the Kilowog line, which on its own makes it awesome. So we'll look at the figure here in its package. We can see here we get the left arm. If we look on the side, we get a picture of it there. Little air holes, I guess, in the package. Odd. Haven't seen that before. Anyways, I digress. On the back, we can see some of the other figures in the line. If you've seen any of the other videos for this wave, you've seen this already, so we'll go pretty quick. We've got Katmatui, Shark, Deadman, Cyborg Superman, The Question, of course John Stewart, Steppenwolf, and then that lets us build Kilowog, which is awesome. Now here on the back, we've got the biography for John Stewart. I'm not going to read it all. My knowledge of John Stewart really comes down to the Justice League cartoons, which admittedly is probably not a whole lot, but it says here he was an alternate Green Lantern when Hal Jordan got hurt, and eventually he got his own power ring so that he could be badass on his own. And for his statistics, he first appeared in Green Lantern second series number 87 in 1972, so he's been around for a while. He's John Stewart. He's an architect, which I had no idea about. And he's got a Green Lantern power ring, so it can create constructs of pure energy, even though here it says plasma, which I'm not sure how accurate that would be. And he can do cool things with the power ring. He can shoot people and make fists like he's got there, and a gun over here, and all that good stuff. So that is a look at the packaging for John Stewart. What we're going to do is we're going to open this figure up, and we're going to have a closer look at this Green Lantern. So back in a minute. So here we have John Stewart out of his packaging, and we can have a closer look at him now, which is excellent. Now, like I have been with some of the other Kilowog series figures in these videos, I'm a little bit biased because I really like John Stewart. I think he's awesome. He's probably my favorite Green Lantern, which I know I'm going to get in trouble for that because, oh my god, don't like Hal Jordan. It's not that I don't like Hal Jordan, I just like John Stewart better. Don't know why. Most of my knowledge from John Stewart comes from the Justice League cartoon, which also seemed to offend a lot of people. Even though I remember liking him way back as a child during the 80s. So we'll have a closer look at him now. The color scheme, you know what? Green Lantern, it's pretty what we'd expect, mostly black. We've got some green on the boots. He's got the armbands, which is, for me, notable. He's got armbands, but he doesn't wear gloves. He's got kind of the wrist braces, guards, whatever. Here, we've got the green up top. We've got the Green Lantern emblem there on his chest, which is nice. And we can have a quick look at the back of him as well. Very excellent. In terms of the mold, well, for the most part, most of his body, like particularly the lower half, and again, as I've said in other videos, I'm kind of new to the DC figures, but the bottom half all seems to be the same on all of them to me, so far. But anyway, and same with actually the arms, but the difference here is that we've got the wrist braces a little bit different, and of course, he has his power ring. Now his head is excellent. It's very well sculpted. We've got his face there. He's got kind of the military haircut, which is awesome. You can see the texture in the hair up here up top. Looks really good. The face is it's just also just a really good sculpt for a face. Quite often I find with figures that have, you know, trying to make the realistic looking face for the character, it tends to, I don't know, not turn out too well, let's just put it that way. But they did an excellent job on this figure, particularly his head sculpt. Now, his articulation is going to be very similar to what we've seen in other DC figures, so we can rotate this, we can move the shoulder up, only about that far. We can rotate the arm at the bicep all the way around. We can bend the elbow, and we can rotate the hand at the wrist. Same with the other side. His torso, we've got the bend forwards and backwards this way. The waist will rotate all the way around, and the hips, we've got the forward motion, can go out and back. Again, the kind of the double jointed piece for the hips. The leg rotates at the thigh, we can bend at the knee, and of course the ankle, which will go sideways a little bit. And they got the little holes in the bottom of the feet. Must be able to, well, some of these figures do come with figure stands. So yeah, that's our basics for Hal Jordan. Or Hal, why did I say Hal Jordan? Oh my goodness, John Stewart. Jeez, I think someone out there is trying to jinx me or something. So this character does come with some accessories. As I said, most of my knowledge from John Stewart, at least in recent history, was watching the Justice League cartoon. So actually, I don't really like his accessories that much, and it's based on that reason. He has the Lantern Green Energy Punch, the hand. At least it's not a boxing glove. I always kind of dislike that. But he's got the big punch there that he can lay down. We can attach it on there, or we can get rid of that. Maybe a little bit cooler. We've got the gun here made out of green energy. Now, with John Stewart, at least in Justice League, being a Marine, I guess it makes sense that he would be able to come up with really interesting weapons. But I always like the fact that he didn't make constructs. He just used the energy as is. If he needed to shoot, the ring just shot green energy from it. He didn't need to make a gun first. Even though, in more recent comics anyway, he does have the more military kind of arsenal that he uses. But it's okay. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea. I'd probably keep him with the gun instead of the fist over here. I just don't care for it that much. But we could stick it on the other hand and be backwards. Let's get rid of that. So there we have it. It's John Stewart. I like him a lot. Now, much like most of the rest of the Kilowog line, he does come with a piece of Kilowog. Let's see if I can stand him up here. Stay. Okay. Our good friend John Stewart is going to come with an arm of Kilowog. Look at the size of this thing. Now, as I said, pretty new to the DC figures, and so the Build-A-Figure pieces just astound me right now. Just if we compare it there, just the size of this fist, it's almost as big, well, about 3/4 of the height of John Stewart himself. So when we build this Kilowog, it's going to just be awesome. I know, keep gushing over Kilowog, and I haven't put them together yet. That's okay. But John Stewart is excellent. I would highly recommend this figure to anyone, especially if you collect Green Lanterns. So far, well, I shouldn't say so far, he's one of my favorite figures of the set. He's one of the ones that I might have bought anyway, even without the Build-A-Figure, because really I am just after the Kilowog. I keep saying that, I know. That's okay. John Stewart, if I was going to give this figure a grade, I have to think about that. I would, you know what? I would give this figure an A-. I really like him. Again, I'm biased because it's John Stewart. He's one of my favorite, probably my favorite Green Lantern. He looks good. They did a really good job on the head, and while his accessories don't thrill me too much, they don't detract from the figure, and we can do some cool things with them. So there we have it. We have our lesson on John Stewart, the Green Lantern, the fill-in Green Lantern, who eventually got his own power ring and kicks all kinds of ass everywhere. I'm having a real hard time standing him up. That'll do. So, I believe that's it. We'll have some more videos on the Kilowog line, maybe even do Kilowog eventually himself. But I think that's class dismissed. Have a good night.